The sound of laughter hurt more than the broken engine ever could. On a quiet suburban street, a tired single father stood beside a rust-covered car that most people would have called a piece of junk. The paint was peeling, the tires looked like they had given up years ago, and the entire neighborhood wondered why anyone would spend even $1 on it. But for one man, that old car was not just metal and rust. It was a promise, a second chance, and the last bit of hope he could afford. Before we continue this emotional journey, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and never judging someone by what you see on the outside, take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share this story with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel Beyond Single Dad, because stories like this remind us that every person is fighting a battle we cannot see. The man's name was Kieran Walsh, a 38-year-old father who had spent the last few years fighting through storms that nobody noticed. After losing his wife, Maribel, to a sudden illness, Kieran became both a father and a provider overnight. He worked long hours repairing appliances, delivering packages, and taking any job that would help him keep food on the table for his young son, Rowan. Life had become a constant calculation. Rent, groceries, school supplies, and medical bills all fought for the little money he earned. Kieran never complained in front of his son. Every night, he smiled, helped Rowan with homework, and told him that tomorrow would be better. But deep down, he worried about the future. One rainy afternoon, while scrolling through old online listings, Kieran found a forgotten advertisement for a $100 car sitting in a nearby yard. The owner wanted it gone because nobody believed it could ever run again. Most people laughed at the idea, but Kieran saw something different. He saw an opportunity. He knew he could not afford a newer vehicle. He needed something to get to work, something he could slowly repair with his own hands. To everyone else, it was worthless. To him, it was a chance to stand on his own again. When Kieran arrived to buy the car, some neighbors gathered around. Among them was a wealthy woman named Vanessa Corbin, who lived in the biggest house on the street. She stepped outside, looked at the rusty vehicle, and laughed. She could not understand why a struggling man would proudly stand beside something that looked like it belonged in a scrapyard. Kieran ignored the comments. He opened the hood, studied the engine, and imagined what the car could become. He did not see the rust. He saw the possibility. Vanessa continued mocking the purchase, making jokes about how the car would probably fall apart before reaching the end of the street. Her words were painful, but Kieran simply closed the hood and drove away with the car behind him, determined to prove that value is not always visible at first glance. For the next few days, Kieran worked on the car every night after putting Rowan to bed. Under a small garage light, he cleaned old parts, fixed wiring, and carefully restored pieces that others had thrown away. He was not just repairing a vehicle. He was rebuilding a piece of his life. What nobody knew was that the old car had a hidden history. Years earlier, before rust covered its body, the vehicle had belonged to a legendary racing champion named Matteo Voss. It was one of the earliest cars he ever drove, a machine connected to the beginning of his incredible career. After a tragic accident ended its racing days, the car disappeared from the public eye and was eventually forgotten. 5 days after Kieran bought the car, a stranger arrived at his home. The man introduced himself as Matteo Voss, the racing legend whose name was known around the world. He had heard rumors about someone restoring an old car in a small neighborhood and came to see it himself. When Matteo saw the vehicle, he became emotional. He recognized every detail, every mark, and every memory attached to it. The car was not just an old machine. It was the place where his dreams had started. Kieran explained that he never knew the car's history. He only wanted something reliable enough to help him take care of his son. Matteo looked at the father and saw the same determination he once had when he was chasing his own dreams. Then came the moment nobody expected. Matteo offered Kieran $5 million for the car. The neighborhood was stunned. The same vehicle people had laughed at became one of the most valuable pieces of racing history. Vanessa stood silently, realizing that she had judged a man and a car without knowing their story. But Kieran's response surprised everyone. He did not celebrate the money first. He thought about his son. He thought about the years of struggle and the lessons he wanted Rowan to learn. He accepted the offer, not because he wanted luxury, but because he wanted to give his son a future filled with opportunities. With the money, Kieran created a foundation that helped struggling single parents learn skills, find work, and rebuild their lives. He kept the memory of the old car alive by placing a photo of it in his home as a reminder that something broken can still have incredible value. Years later, when people asked Kieran about the $100 car that changed his life, he always smiled. He said the greatest thing he ever found was not the car's hidden value. It was the reminder that every person deserves a chance before they are judged. If this story touched your heart, please engage with this video by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Beyond Single Dad. Your support helps more inspiring stories reach people who need them. Before the ending, I have one special request. Comment, "Second chances matter," if you believe kindness can change someone's life. Because sometimes, the things and people we overlook are the ones carrying the greatest stories. A rusty car was never just a rusty car. It was a forgotten dream waiting for someone to believe in it. And sometimes, all it takes is one person's faith to reveal a treasure the world failed to see.